Hey fitness fam, so you've done the math, calculated your TDE, that's total daily energy expenditure, and got a set of macros based on that. But then your coach hands you a completely different set of numbers. What gives? Let's break it down. First up, you've been on a plan before and still didn't lose weight. TD calculators estimate energy burn, but don't account for metabolic adaptations. If you've been dieting long and weight has stalled, your metabolism might be slower. Your coach might adjust your macros lower to reflect your actual daily expenditure. For example, you think your TDE is 2,200 kilocalories, but your body burns only 1,900 calories. If you eat 2,000 kilocalories thinking it's a deficit, you maintain weight instead of losing. Your coach adjusts your intake to match your real-world metabolism. Next, if you're struggling to eat enough, you might be in a reverse dieting phase. If you've been under-eating, your metabolism has likely slowed down. Your coach might increase your calories slowly to restore metabolic function. Imagine this. You've been eating 1,200 kilocalories, but should be at 2,000 calories for maintenance. Instead of jumping to 2,000 calories, your coach increases your intake gradually. Think 1,400, then 1,600, then 1,800 calories. This helps rebuild your metabolism while avoiding excessive fat gain. Another reason your macros might look different is they're adjusted for performance, not just weight loss. Not all macros are created equal. Your TD-based macros might be generic, but your coach considers your training intensity, recovery needs, and muscle building goals. For example, if you train 5 times per week, but your TD-based macros don't provide enough protein, your coach gives you higher protein and slightly higher carbs to fuel performance, even if the overall calories look different. If you're lifting heavy, cutting too aggressively can lead to muscle loss, so your coach structures your diet to preserve lean mass. Your macros will also look different depending on your training phase, cut, bulk, or maintenance. If your TD calculator suggested maintenance calories, but you're in a cutting phase, your coach has adjusted for that. For instance, TD says 2,500 cal, but you're cutting. Instead of eating at 2,500, your coach lowers you to 2,000 cal to create a deficit. On the flip side, if you're trying to build muscle, you might get a slight surplus, like 2,600 cal, even though your TDE is 2,500. You also might have a different macro split than the TD calculator suggested. Most TD calculators default to generic ratios, but your coach might customize them based on your individual needs. Example, if you're carb sensitive or insulin resistant, your coach might lower carbs and increase fats. If you're an athlete, you might get higher carbs for performance. If you struggle with satiety, your coach might increase protein and fiber. Hormonal or metabolic considerations can also play a role. If you have PCOS, thyroid issues, or metabolic syndrome, your calorie needs may not match a standard TDE calculation. Your coach may have factored this in. For example, someone with PCOS may have a lower calorie need due to insulin resistance. Someone recovering from hypothyroidism or adrenal fatigue may need higher fats and moderate carbs instead of a generic split. Finally, remember that TDE calculators assume everything is perfect. But in real life, you might be more or less active than estimated. Your body might absorb food differently, and your previous diet history influences your actual energy needs. Stress, sleep, and hydration all impact metabolism but aren't factored in by a calculator. The bottom line? Your coach isn't just pulling numbers out of thin air, they're adjusting based on your body's real needs, past history, and goals. If you're unsure, ask questions and communicate how you're feeling. Trust the process. Sometimes what you expect and what your body actually needs are two different things.